You know, there's something about this drum and bass I have playing before the streams that's neither drumming nor bassing. It sounds just like R&B, which, I mean, I guess it's fine. We're setting the mood, setting the vibes, I guess. For another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for February 20th, 2025. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, Marcus Major Linux Summers, and there goes the drum and bass. Of course, I'm joined this week and every week by the birthday boy. It's Kevin Kev, it's your boy Kev in the building.
Another year older, 41 strong.
Well, don't put those horns away just yet.
Oh no. Oh no.
Because I'm also joined by the birthday boy, the Sunflower Sovereign themselves.
That's right.
Sinziak is in the building. Wow. He gave you fake horns, but he bought real horns for himself.
It be that way. You know what? Sometimes you gotta toot your own horns. I mean, it is.
Go. You know something? Go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead and do it real quick. Give it to him just for the one time.
That's right. We got the birthday boy. It's your boy, Ken. Oh man, I see. I saw green boxes again. I don't like green boxes. I swear I'm tempted to go back to vMix, and I want to go back to vMix. I really do.
I'm telling you, when you're doing any kind of video encoding, the last thing you want to see is green box.
Yeah, because it looks unprofessional. It looks so unprofessional. But unfortunately, nobody's using NDI. I cannot get separate video stream sources from anywhere other than like vMix and Skype.
Oh.
Which is sad. Like Skype, of all the programs, gave me that.
Boy, I remember them Skype trenches, boy. Whoo-wee.
So, how was the birthday, gentlemen? How'd it go? How you do?
Tim, would you like to go first?
How have I been doing? That's the question. Because if that is the question, I had a fun vacation last week and then came back to work, and chaos of the most not fun variety ever constructed decided to descend upon the day that was in fact my birthday. So, you know, foolery, nonsense, and shenanigans. And then I was supposed to go to get a little checkup today just for, you know, general health and being like, hey, let's just make sure that all the things are running the way that they're supposed to, and it snowed. So thankfully I didn't go all the way out there before I found out that no one was going to be there. I just called them several times and got the answer.
Damn.
Now, that being said, I plan on making up for whatever nonsense and shenanigans the week has brought me this weekend.
As you should.
So, overall, the world around me is chaotic, but my personal world is a little bit more settled and quiet and content. And I have a lot of surprisingly good things to think about.
Good. My birthday was very good, very restful. Worked on, just did some light admin because, you know, it's gonna be next week is like a lot of games coming out, a lot of big games coming out. So I have been doing a lot of I've been filling out a lot of Google forms and doing some quick early pre-coverage. And my day was spent mostly just hanging in, you know, taking in the love and admiration of my community and Also eating some really good chicken and bacon. Oh, so much fried chicken and bacon. Oh, so good. And biscuits. Eating eating within my means, but also eating very well. And an introvert's nightmare had happened where
A
we were
person
at the
came over.
restaurant. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no, a
No!
person.
No! Worse. But two busfuls of kids,
Oh.
the Glee Club of another
Oh.
county, to stop over after an engagement, and then all of a sudden we were inundated with Glee Club kids, and I was like, "Oh no!" And my mom was like, "Grab what food you can while we can from the buffet. It's a raid!" And then they came in and like cleared the bar. The buffet people. Shout out to the buffet people. They did their level. They did their level best to stem the tide, but they cleared it good. And just as they came, like locusts from the Bible, once they came, they left the same in a flurry to blot the sun. And was like, yeah, but still, it was good. Still good, like chicken and bacon. Had a lovely stream. Was inundated with love and gifts and prizes and well wishes and wishes of well and all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, Also shout out to Dee Dee for her lovely contributions, and then also shout out to the homie Moosh for sending me his 3DS. And I haven't been dabbling with it too much, but I just kind of wiped it down and have it sitting in its like place of peace right now. And I'll probably play. And his also not only did he send me that, but he sent me a copy of Alpha Sapphire. Also, the homie Brittany sent me a lovely little Switch controller off my Amazon wish list. And yeah, it's just been a good day of rest and love and waking up to a bacon induced food hangover. And yeah, it was a good day. It was a really good day. And hopefully more lovely shenanigans over the weekend, because and that was about it.
The most I've done these past few days is discover that I'm not sure if we had talked about it here, but that notebook LM that Google has, it does podcasts.
Oh,
I fed the show notes into it, and it did a scarily good job of generating a 5-minute show, which we can't compete with because we go into detail.
yes.
But if this was just like a quick show of things, it is really good at that. Like, I let my wife listen to it, and she was like, who are these people? I was like, they are nobody. These people do not exist. She's like, they're really good. And I'm like, I know.
And that's what scares me.
So wait, what is this?
So a year or so ago, Google came out with this thing called Notebook LM. It uses large language models to, it's supposed to be like this study tool.
Yeah.
Like, you put documents into it,
And
you
reads
can
it back
kind of,
to you.
yeah, like it'll read it back to you, give you summaries of the documents. You could chat with it to get information out of it. But one thing they added relatively recently is the ability for it to summarize your content and make a podcast out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm just catching this. It's Merge's birthday?
Remember, Merge is, well, I don't know who Merge is. That's the West Coast Sid over there. Sid's birthday was this week. So it's Merge's birthday this week.
I'm
So by So by transitive, like if it's
Transitive property. See, yeah, you
transitive
see
property.
me. You see me over there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Anywho, so yeah, like it will kind of summarize the content you put in it. But yeah, like a recent addition to Notebook LM is that it will generate a podcast with like 2 hosts, and they will talk back and forth, and they banter, and it sounds oddly natural. But I caught it because again, we do this weekly, which means things can change on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I caught it on were things that were old. Like for one, it does not know that DOGE is a government agency.
Mm-hmm.
So they kept referring to it as Dogecoin. And obviously in the show, we're going to be talking about the DICE Awards, which they did. But back when Stray won Game of the Year. So it's like, okay, it's not perfect. My job is safe for now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, surprised that Google did not use, Google search to say, hey, we should maybe provide up-to-date information here. It sounds a bit too natural than try to put the hums and ahs in there, but it's uncanny valley still. I don't know. To me, it sounded decent enough to where if you didn't think too hard about it, you would think it was 2 different people. And it made me really think, I could feed this a whole bunch of bullshit and maybe post it to like Apple Podcasts and see what it will do. But then we'll get really upset if this AI podcast I created got more downloads than Tech Talk Thursdays. But yeah. With all that being said, I'm going to do my best to summarize this week's show without using AI because I forgot what it said. Also, we've added things. Of course, the Apple iPhone 16e was announced. There are a lot of things that went away, some of which you might actually still care about. Reddit is probably putting a paywall on some of their subreddits. Of course, the DICE Awards are going to be talked about. Marvel Rivals, despite doing very well, laid off a team in the US. And GTA 5 is finally getting the updates it deserves on PC. That and so much more on this week's episode of Tech Talk Thursdays. And of course, like I said, we're going to start off with the iPhone 16e announced just yesterday with the A18 chip, Apple Intelligence, and it starts at $599.
Yeah.
This is essentially the iPhone 14 with 1 camera. So yeah, they have finally filled out the iPhone 16 family, as they call it. There's no more minis. There's no more SEs. It is just E. Of course, you can see from this image here, it does lack the camera button, but it does come with your action button, and it only has 1 camera, and it brings back the notch. The iPhone 16s got rid of the notch for the dynamic island situation, but yeah, the 16e brings back the notch. So hey, for those the notch,
mm-hmm.
You know, the little divot on the top of your phone.
Yep.
They called it a notch.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the notch.
So yeah, again, it just looks like an updated iPhone 14, except with the action button, updated chipset. Can do Apple Intelligence if that is your thing. Going in a little bit further though, they announced their C1 chip which is which is their new 5G modem. So they're now released from Broadcom. They controlling more of their the iPhone hardware stack. Unfortunately, and I didn't include it. I'm making sure I didn't include it. Unfortunately, with the C1, it does not include millimeter wave, which is the super fast which enables the super fast 5G, but is notorious for not being able to permeate brick walls, and you have to be in direct line of sight in order to get it, which sure has its drawbacks, I guess. Mm-hmm. But it is one thing that this phone is lacking, that reports are saying that the iPhone 17 Air will probably lack once it comes out. Also, people have been contributing the C1 modem to the fact that the iPhone 16e does not have MagSafe. While it does have wireless charging, it does not support the MagSafe brand of technologies that are currently available for all the iPhone 16 or 15, 16, 14, 13, and I think even 12 maybe devices.
I think probably, like, when it comes to like third-party case manufacturers, they could probably get away with it by having like a MagSafe configuration in the case that basically would have the magnets on the outer part, but still, use some of the MagSafe devices.
So yeah,
that's what my AA has.
Yes, I did see some reports saying that there are cases that are coming out for the 16E that will kind of supplement the MagSafe part, which, there's that. I picked up a week or so ago, like these snap adapters. I picked it up for my Steam Deck because I actually picked up that save point that Genki sells that allows you to put like a NVMe drive in an external exclosure, and it mounts via MagSafe. Okay. But for the Steam Deck, that obviously does not exist. So they send you a little MagSafe sticker to kind of put on your Steam Deck. Mine didn't stick very well. So I bought these from Best Buy. So it's like, you can buy MagSafe stickers, and they give you a little diagram to how you can kind of size it up on your iPhone to kind of get it lined up.
Yeah.
I imagine they will probably have to redo it for the iPhone 16e. I'm not sure if it's the same physical dimensions as a 16 or 16 Pro. But yeah, so there are ways to get MagSafe on it. It will not function like MagSafe as if it was on the native device. But yeah, you can get a case that will allow you to put MagSafe chargers, wallets, or other MagSafe accessories on it. Also, it is the wireless charging for it will be capped at 7.5 watts, which I think is the old key, or is the standard key, the old key standard. Also, it's saying that none of the silicone cases for the iPhone 16e will have the MagSafe connector, which is a missed opportunity, even for Apple. It's like, why? Like, if you don't include it on the phone, like, you could at least put it on your cases.
I mean, that'd be nice. Not on the phone, always on the case. And that's always, it's probably going to, like, just like you say, it's going to be up onto the third party. It's going to be up to the third parties for doing that.
But of course, like, when I shared that, there was some, of course, like, the Apple hate came through. It's like, well, of course, like, they're gonna do it because it's Apple. Like, well, I mean, to be fair, my Pixel 6a does not have wireless charging at all.
Well, this one does. I forgot.
Yeah, you have the 8A.
Yeah, I have the 8A. Yeah, of course it's just, but yeah.
But yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't think my 6A has wireless charging. So it's like we can sit there and blame Apple for this all we want, but budget devices are notorious, and I feel like having a magnet on the phone should not be the deal breaker here. Like, I don't care if it's not MagSafe. Like, you can't call it MagSafe on an Android phone at all. But to have like a circular area where you can just slap a magnetic puck on it should not be that damn difficult. But even with my 6A, like, it just lacks wireless charging, so it would be moot, period. But yeah. But enough of the 16E. It's time to discuss what's going away now that 16E is out. The Lightning port is officially dead. Except it's not, because the Magic Keyboard and the Magic Trackpad and still the Magic Mouse also use the Lightning cable. But on the iPhone, the Lightning cable is officially dead.
Yeah.
Every phone that they sell is USB-C now.
Yeah. Which that's great.
Also, the SE no longer exists.
Yeah.
It's the end of an era for the iPhone SE.
Pour one out for a real one, because that phone was basically the secret deodorant of iPhones.
Yeah.
Software and form factor like this, but power like the next level up, and that was just like a wonderful time.
Right.
Yep.
It's the one
Like
thing I do like.
Apple, why don't you do that? Apple, why didn't you if you're gonna hit a thing to repeat, do that. Run that back.
So
Spend the block on that.
So that's the thing. Like, that's what the 60E is. It's literally just an iPhone 14. Like that. So that's what the SE phones have been. Is like the phone they made 2-3 generations ago, just with current hardware.
Yeah.
So like the iPhone, the SE2 or whatever. Like, actually, I think this is the SE3. The one they just discontinued was an iPhone 8.
Yeah.
Which then reminds me that another thing gets discontinued, because again, the iPhone 8 design is gone. Wait, did I miss something? Or did I put the 14? Oh, no. No, what happened? Something's missing. No. Oh, the Lightning port. The SE is gone. There's an article missing, but also meant to mention too, now that we're talking about the SE is being discontinued, there are no more iPhones with a home button.
Oh, yeah.
There are no, if I'm not mistaken, I do not think Apple sells a device with a home button anymore. I want to say even the OG iPad, like just the regular iPad, is all screen now.
Yeah. Ninth. I have the 9th. I think that's I think that's the last one. Yeah, 9th was the home button. And I think 10th it didn't.
Yeah. The regular iPad is all screen now. So there are no Apple devices with a home button anymore.
So is current iPad 10 or 11?
That's a great question. Because God forbid Apple will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. That's probably a Wikipedia question at this point.
I'll look that up.
Yeah, that's a Wikipedia question. Apple will not tell you.
Yeah.
So yeah, no Lightning ports, no home buttons. They did it. They finally fucking did it.
They did it, Joe.
also discontinued are the 14 line. So if you were hoping to get a 2-year-old device, you can look at retail stores. They might have one, but Apple is no longer selling the 14s anymore. Which I want to say means that there are no hardware switches on the devices, on any other devices either. Like they're probably all just buttons and screens now, like buttons on the side, no buttons on the screen. So yeah.
Oh, to answer my question, current gen is 10th gen, and 10th gen is there's no button.
All right. So I'm debating on whether or not I would have gotten my wife the 16E instead of the 16 if I had known this was going to come out. I feel like I'm better off with her having the proper 16.
Yes.
Than the 16E, but she's one of the, I want to save some money. Actually, no, it wouldn't matter because she got her 16 for free. So yeah, I'm good. I'm the one having to pay like a little bit of money for my 16 Pro. But yeah, she got her 16 for free. I'm okay.
That works out.
In more Apple news, though, Apple has announced that they are currently only able to detect Pegasus spyware in half of infected iPhones. If you remember, Pegasus, I feel like my number one nemesis on this show, even though I've never really had to fight with it. But again, I do not like shit that is constantly spying on cell phones. What made this worse, though, is the fact that Pegasus is the brainchild of an Israeli tech firm. So I really hate it now. And of course, if you do not remember what Pegasus is a spyware program that runs on mobile devices, not just iPhones, but on mobile devices writ large, that can be executed just by merely being sent to your device. You don't have to interact with it at all. As soon as it is sent to your device, you are infected. This program was developed and sold to government agencies, among other organizations, to spy on activists, journalists, other government personnel, people that, other people in power really don't want to be around and want to just keep tabs on. And in this day and age, how buddy the U.S. is with Israel, and as much as, the government's being gutted, and, our commander in chief is so hell bent on destroying his enemies, especially those within, this ain't a good look.
Ain't a good look.
I don't know if they even believe the concept of a bad look is possible.
Oh wait, Apple. Okay, so Apple didn't announce this. This actually came from a report. However, a new report suggests that Apple is currently only detecting around half of infected devices. The data comes from the mobile security company iVerify, which last year launched a $1 app that lets you scan your own phone and send the results to them for analysis. The one-off fee lets you perform one scan a month. Those scans provide data that allow the company to estimate the prevalence of Pegasus infections and also check how many of those found to be infected have been notified by Apple. Yeesh.
Yeesh indeed. Ooh.
iVerify says it was very careful to count only those phones it was 100% certain were infected. It's not a good
The
look.
biggest yikes.
Yeah, it's not a good look. Especially today, especially after today, Tim Apple.
Tim what?
Tim Apple.
There you go.
You got something?
Made a visit
right.
to the White House. You know, to talk about them tariffs.
And what was Tim Apple doing there?
Talking about them tariffs.
Did he say anything useful?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't read the article. Again, when tech CEOs are going to kiss the ring, I don't care. I just know it's bad. It's not going to help me.
Well, I mean, I guess that's the thing. Did he decide he was like? Are we assuming that the visit was specifically to to kiss the ring, or are they running hands in person? Because
kissing the ring.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
It's definitely kissing the ring.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like because you said like understand where I'm at. You said these people were here to talk about them tariffs. Now, when I'm like, if I ever tell you,
excuse me, let me clarify.
You see,
he is
talking
about tariffs. So like, hey, don't include Apple in them.
Yeah.
No, like, right. Okay. Thank you for clarifying, because that's important. Because if I tell you I've gone to talk to somebody about some tariffs, that's because the places that I would say that on have a terms of service.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like,
look, you've got a Mastodon account. You can always use that.
Yeah, it's them going to be like, excuse me, Playboy, a few minutes of your time.
Love what you done to the place.
Love what you done with the place.
Love it.
Could you not include me in those tariffs? Like, could you, maybe the people that we do the because Apple.
I thought this was like Wizards of the Coast with that Pinkerton situation. You know what I mean? Like people just showing up at the house and being like, "So I heard y'all were doing some bullshit with some tariffs. What's up about that? What's going on there?"
Oh, the Pinkertons are there to protect the tariffs. What are you talking about?
Pinkertons and the Merchant Marine.
Oh no, I'm
Merchant Navy.
I am aware, and that's exactly why I said. That's why I said that.
The Harbor Navy is like, we are protectors of capitalism.
Yep.
We stand that capitalism pays our bills. Yeah. So but that is, they're basically putting their bid in to be like, hey yo, Playboy, let me don't include us in those tariffs. Would you please and thanks. Okay.
Right. Again, love your work. You know what? Do what you're doing over there. Just please leave me and my homies out of. Okay.
Yeah. Try not to.
Oh, okay. I hate.
We got a new phone coming out pretty soon. So leave us. And our fab alone.
Allegedly, like some reports have been coming out that apparently laptop prices have increased by like 10%. However, Apple has been eating that cost.
Yep.
So I mean,
they know. They know, like,
I mean, the prices of fucking Macs are inflated anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh no, that again, not to applaud Apple for that, but it goes to show, like, look, you can absorb those costs. That means your profits are a lot, but Apple is like, yo, we're just making hand over fist anyway. 10% really was not going to hurt us.
Right. Like, say the Apple Care alone would have covered it.
Yeah.
Would have covered any shortfalls that they would have taken in the manufacturing sector. Like
again, Apple is trying to become a services company at this point. Yeah. They realize that too many, like, everybody's got their fucking devices. We now need to figure out some way to get people to subscribe, to have them send us more money, which, I mean, Severance is doing that hand over fist.
And Ted Lasso before it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
like, shit, I might buy a month or two of Apple TV just to watch Ted Lasso.
I've fallen out of TV shows now. Like, now I have Apple TV back, and I could be sitting here watching Ted Lasso, but no, I just can't. I'm just not in the mood for Ted Lasso, and I'm starting to fall out of the mood for Mythic Quest.
Oh, that's right. That's also on Apple TV. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot until it showed up on my Apple TV. I was like, oh yeah, I was watching that. They'll give you 3 months for free if you get that new iPhone. Yeah, I guess maybe. I don't know.
I mean, that's what I did when I got my iPad. They gave me my 3 months, and I was like, meow.
It's funny that my work iPhone is still telling me, hey, you can subscribe to Fitness Plus. It's like, but you my work iPhone, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed I didn't use my 3 months on Apple TV to just watch Ted Lasso.
But yeah, again, the Pegasus stuff, I wouldn't worry about it too much as a regular person. But yeah, still just be careful out there. And yeah, there's an app you can pay them $1 and they will scan your iPhone. It's whatever. I have not used it. Maybe I should. But yeah, again, just be careful. Open source nonprofit platform Codeberg is suffering from hate campaigns due to far-right forces. Codeberg are non.
I love how they say far right forces as if these like are some mysterious group of people.
I mean, it's the internet. It is the internet.
You know, what about it being the internet?
Well, I mean, they're unknown. Nobody knows where they're coming from. They're just there.
They mysteriously just appeared on the front door. We have no idea who these people are.
Well, I mean, it's the internet. Where's the front door? They're just here. Oh no. Codeberg are a nonprofit community-led effort that provides Git hosting and other services for free and open source projects, and they've recently had a major problem for what they say are far-right forces engaging in a hate campaign. Entering my email early on Wednesday morning was something that made me raise my eyebrows. Get a lot. Well, okay, this seems very, very editorializing here. This one definitely wasn't normal though. Coming from a repository on Codeberg named Truth from a user Truth, the issue subject line from the email I won't repeat, but it was clearly racial hatred. Inside the email, the issue had a whole bunch of people tagged, myself included. Later that afternoon, an official email from Codeberg came in to apologize and link to their announcement blog post. Codeberg said they are, quote, currently suffering from hate campaigns due to far-right forces, and so are our users. With several projects advocating tolerance and equal rights that have been subject to, quote, hate attacks such as massive spam of abusive messages in their issue trackers. According to Codeberg, they have, quote, blocked access to the use functionality and deleted the user accounts, but they managed to generate a large amount of notification emails already. All right. Haters will find anything to sit there and just distribute their fucking hate.
All that grass that they could have been touching.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So much.
I'll trade 6 ducks and eggs for a 50-90. Don't try to lowball me. I know what I have. If only there were eggs in this house. Oh my God, I have not been hearing good things about that 5070.
5070 Ti, no. Cause too much. It's like almost damn near the board partners are like close to 1,000 already.
Which is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because it's a 750 card. Which even then it's still too much.
I thought you were talking about it was too much for 750. I thought that's what you were talking about initially until I remember. Oh right, Newegg has them listed for $1,000.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, who are selling these cards for $1,000? Is it Newegg themselves?
It's Newegg. Yeah, it's Newegg.
It's coming from Newegg. Like the part is being shipped from Newegg.
Yeah, because the 750, the not 750, the 570 Ti are board partners. There's no Founders Edition, so it's all board partner cards. And so there's like the Asus Prime, which is the one that a lot of reviewers got. They're like, this card is cool. I can't recommend it because you're not going to be able to find it. Here's the specs. We love the performance from like the uplift from the 30 to the 50 series. That uplift is crazy, but we can't recommend it because y'all not gonna be able to find it for the MSRP. For the MSRP that we're told this card's gonna be. And then the card then sneaks up to about $8.99. I guess probably in lieu, what they'll say is in lieu of the tariffs. But then it's like, tariffs hadn't started yet. So what are you doing?
The thing is, people are fucking buying it. Like, I don't know, because I mean, they're out of stock, but
yeah, people are clearly buying it.
$9.79.
Yeah. Yeah. This one is way over 1,000.
$9.69.
Yep.
Here are a couple of $9.99s.
Yep. That's close to 1,000.
But why are they? If the MSR, like, I don't understand who is shipped and sold by new. So who is setting the price at $1,000? Is it the board partner or
the board partners?
For fucking what?
That's what it is.
This is stupid.
It is stupid. That's why I was like, that's why I'm like the 50, like I say, the 5090s and the 5080s are damn near, like, not even damn near. They are complete paper launch. And so now when you going into like the 5070 Ti, it's like cool, it's great. It almost has like 80 class performance from the previous gen, but we can't recommend it because you're not going to be able to find it or afford it for the MSRP that it's supposed to be. For that particular card, which is the Asus Prime, and the Asus Prime, you can't even find it for that.
Like, I want to know what makes this $100 more.
Probably whatever its proprietary features is, like maybe like what they like to call like frozen fans, where the fans don't spin up when the fans don't spin up unless they're under load. Some have like the dual BIOS, which really is just fan curve adjustments. Some are physically dual BIOS, where it's like if one BIOS gets borked, you just switch over to the other one, so that one is unborked. Yeah, so you don't effectively brick your card. Sometimes it's RGB, sometimes it's like little like probably better like better power efficiency, yada yada yada. Sometimes it might be factory overclocks, different.
Kevin just out here trying to give us the good word, just kind of like, and in spite of me telling you all of that, it's still some bullshit.
Like, because this one was like a basic ass car compared to this one, but this one costs more.
Yeah.
This shit don't make no damn sense.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. It's like I'm struggling to try to give you some semblance of understanding of why somebody would feel the need to do it.
It ain't working. It's not
because
working.
I don't believe it. Because I truly don't believe it. I'm sitting up there. Why is this card not selling for? It used to be like $750. It would be like $750, and then you would get like different flavors of like 8 to like 7 to about $975 to about $875. It would never crack. If it did crack 900, it had to have been something real special, like a color variant.
This fucking Desert Storm ass looking card.
Yeah.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It definitely is looking different golden brown. Right. Yeah.
It's Call of Duty ass looking card.
Call of Duty.
Duty.
That's funny.
Is that what we're is that what we're doing today?
Look at it. Like I would. Well, I don't know. Actually, you know what?
No. Like honestly speaking,
in real talk, that's the prime. That's
I would probably pay more for this one now that I see it. I actually kind of like the edges on this one compared to the other one. But
yeah, because
that's not enough to charge $100 more.
It's really aesthetics now. It's really like shapes and sizes. That's what really comes to it. Because it used to be like colors and different color variants and RGB and had like crystal accents and whatever.
But how was a 3060 755?
Oh shit! Don't even get me started on that one. Don't even get me started on the literal shit show that is like trying to buy a new old card.
What are we
trying to buy a new?
Okay, this 3060 Ti is $315 though.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
The most.
This 4060 is $329. What the heck?
And it's gotten so that people are like, let me just look at AMD.
So you mean to tell I can AMD. Save money and get a more powerful card?
Because I'm thinking right now, that's 3060.
Why would I buy a 3060 if a 4060 is right here?
4060 is even cheaper.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
The most.
But like doing and mind you, doing the most to do the least.
But real talk, the reason why that is cheaper than the other one is because of the 3060 has 12 gigs of RAM, VRAM.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because the 8s have fallen out in favor because be more VRAM. So anything that has like 12 gigs of RAM is like highly more sought after. AMD's also going to be raising the prices. Yeah, they are. The AMD has been raising the prices.
All right, I got you right here. A 3060 for $447. Still ain't more expensive than the 4060, but a shit ton cheaper than what this was going for.
Is that 8 or 12?
This is a 12.
Yep. Mm-hmm. 192. 192, not bad. I mean, it'll get the job done. It'll play Baldur's Gate.
What are we
the job done?
Bro?
The most. We're doing the most.
Here's a 4060 with 16 gigs for $850.
Top card will be a mid-ranger. Yeah, they've given up. The 79 XTX is the last main high-end card because AMD realizes we can make more money trying to get more people to play Marvel Rivals at 1080p 1440p than we could ever do it at 4K. The battle is 1080p high refresh, 1440p high refresh. That's what the battle is.
60 Ti going more than a 5070 Ti at MSRP.
It is the literal disgust with which I hear you say every single word that you're saying, and it is sending me.
Exactly, Takal. All they have to do is just be like, cool, same card but an XT, charge $800, just be fine. They don't have to compete with it. All they have to do is compete. All they have to do is compete with the sometimey 4K and 4K 30, 1080p, 1440p high refresh. Done. They don't gotta make high range top range cards.
I'm glad my 3080 Ti is gonna hold out at least a little bit longer.
Knock on wood.
I mean, the only thing that's gonna kill it is fucking UE5.
You better knock on that wood, Major.
The only thing that's gonna kill it is that
Major. Don't zone zoo it.
Knock on the wood, Major.
I'm trying to see if I actually have wood around me. I don't know if I do.
I got particles.
Does drywall count?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's wood. It's wood adjacent.
There's wood in this house, that I know, but there's just drywall in between me and it.
The way, there you go. The way I would just get me a decorative plank and just have that on the wall.
To knock
close
on
to me
this. In case of emergency, knock on this.
If you say something, knock on wood. Knock on me.
This is just utterly disgusting.
It's gross, man. It's literally the grossest thing that I've seen. The last couple of days, I have been like, ooh, brother, ooh.
I'm glad I don't follow this, but also at the same time, I should, because then it won't catch me off guard when I do look at this shit.
Yeah,
it's like, this is not great. I do not like where this is coming from. But also now all those fucking nerds in this Discord servers who are complaining and bitching about this shit. And Tycho. You see how I separated Tycho from the rest of them? Because Tycho also does this level of complaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, all those nerds and Tycho to call whatever. I do not care at this point.
Oh, you wait, hold on. Don't be disrespectful. Hello?
Don't disrespect our boy.
I'm sorry. Gulf of America popped in my head. My bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like I am just like, it's really truly out here. The most gross. Like I said, I keep up with it. You see how keep catching it? Like yeah, Takala's like, now why am I in it? Y'all put me in it. Like I said, we defend you, Cal.
Yeah.
Listen, you were about to witness.
This is all out of love, but yes, I do continue. It's not even. I'm just shooting in his direction now.
We even clarify your user government name. Your proper government username.
I just spray in his general direction, man. It's not stress at this point.
Like the guy's like, "What you say fuck me for?"
Well, I was just sitting here eating my burrito. What you coming for me for?
In front of my Chipotle bowl? How dare?
Right in front of the Chipotle bowl.
In the midst of my salad. What?
But just know it is out of love. Please believe.
It's out of love and a tinge of disrespect.
Yes, because he won't write an article for me.
No, it's something. That's all right. The Lord sees me.
I told you what we had to do, Major. I told you what we had to do. We just had to copy and paste his Discord post.
Child, if you don't leave that man alone. If you don't leave that man alone about writing these articles,
put it in Notebook LM.
Yeah.
They can write a podcast.
Oh, you better not.
No, don't put. That'd be the don't do the Cal like that. No, don't do that. No.
It'll make a daily tech rant.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you this right now. Yeah. When the Cal shows up at your house with the hands on standby, don't say nothing.
Right.
Not a word. I don't want to hear it. It's just like, why this man run up on me like that? You know why he ran up on me.
Constantly ranting against AI, but use it to generate content from someone who does not want to write an article.
Officer, I ain't seen nothing with it. I ain't seen nothing. No Lord. I'm 38% blind in my left eye. I didn't even know you was even here.
My cheeks hurt. How the fuck did we end up on GPUs?
We end up on GPUs, but we're here, and I was just like, you know what? I'm also aggrieved. Let's start.
I am here. I love how you said I am here and also aggrieved. That is probably my favorite part.
I don't even know how we got the GPUs from. Because Ruin did this. Because he was talking about the GPU and the eggs.
Once again, Ruin back in there in the audience. Now, why am I in it? How did I end up here?
Ruin from the top rope. Now, wait, what?
I'll trade 6 dozen eggs for a 50-90. Don't try to lowball me. I know what I have.
Why you bring them into this though? They were
because he's the one who started this. Anywho,
it's the refusal to take accountability for me.
Yeah.
Who's refusing to take accountability? I was here at Codeberg.
You good, sir.
I was at Codeberg.
I'm cackling, and yet here we are. And then we were
Anywho,
like, "What?
I was at
why
Codeberg.
GPU so bad?"
I was at Codeberg. I'm going to Reddit.
Yep.
Where Reddit is planning to add paywalls to their subreddits, confirmed by CEO Huffman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. They're going to what?
Huffman confirmed the plan for paid subreddits during a pre-recorded Ask Me Anything video shown during the company's earnings call.
What do you mean a paid subreddit?
He said, quote, "We will unlock the door for new use cases, new types of subreddits that can be built that may have exclusive content or private areas, things of that nature."
So
Are they trying to be like Temu Patreon? Like, what are they doing here?
Or, like newsletters, like, the Nazi supporting Substack.
Creators create a subreddit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, like.
Okay, so basically we're on some goofy behavior is what I'm hearing. Okay, cool.
They
They
like
gotta figure out some way to
RDC
make that money.
So it'd be like if RDC had like a subreddit, or
If we had,
Core
if we had a
Extension
subreddit.
or Dashy. Yeah, we had a subreddit,
Do we have a subreddit? I should check that.
I mean, at this point, we've been going for a while. I'm surprised we don't have a subreddit.
Why would we?
Lord.
We all just working. I mean, if anything, we would have a Lemmy.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool. Great. It's not found. I'm scared that there is one. That's the problem. Like, what if they've been saying behind my back? Cool. Not one for me either, personally.
Discord
No.
Also, Merge, I was wondering that too. How are AMAs pre-recorded?
That's weird.
I was assuming that, like, again, we use Reddit. I mean, we use Discord as like our Reddit. So yeah, I am perfectly fine with that. I would rather our community be in Discord than Reddit. And if it had to be on a Reddit type thing, I would relaunch the Lemmy. But yeah, I am okay.
Yeah.
With it being on Discord.
Yeah, we're fine.
But yeah, so if you're still on Reddit, soon you may have to start paying for subreddits. Just because, capitalism's got a capitalism.
Capitalism got to capitalize on.
Yes. Of course, Ruin. I stand with you on that one. Fuck that guy.
What guy?
The Reddit CEO. Yes, thank you. Audio listeners
who? Wait, hold on. No, I'm thinking of a different CEO. I'm sorry.
Which
You
one?
think about Ohanian. You think about Ohanian.
I'm thinking about Andy.
Jeff? No, wait. Jenny?
That's from Proton Mail.
Oh,
okay.
Amazon CEO is also named Andy. I think.
I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, Andy Jassy.
Oh, Jassy. Oh, Jassy.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, agree.
But speaking of CEOs we all love to hate, Twitter. Well, Twitter's not a CEO, but Musk. Twitter is blocking signal links likely over DOGE whistleblowers. Social network Twitter is blocking links to share contact details on encrypted messaging app Signal. Links to Signal.me are blocked even in direct messages. The issue was first spotted by security researchers at MISC, with disruptionist Matt Binder able to confirm the methods being used. Twitter is blocking users from posting a Signal.me link through DM, public posts, or even in their profile page. When trying to post a Signal link, users receive a variety of different message fail prompts depending on what version of the Twitter platform they use, i.e. Twitter for web, Twitter for iPhone, etc. Error messages include claiming the link is potentially harmful, might be spam, or even is considered malware. The site notes that Signal is commonly used by journalists, including acting as a safe communication channel for whistleblowers. It suggests the move is likely a deliberate one by Twitter owner Elon Musk. It's amazing how Musky Musk here has turned on the things that he once supported. It's almost as if he probably got muscled out of them and is like, I hate this thing and I'm going to spend my whole life hating on it forever. Because truth be told, Mr. Musk was heavily into Signal. I think he even financially backed it at one point.
I'm trying to wonder if that was more on the line of I'm blocking it because I couldn't acquire it, or I'm blocking it because I'm actively don't want my people to like complain about me on Signal.
It's so according to was it MISC here, the security researchers at MISC, they're believing that it could be tied to DOGE whistleblowers.
Okay.
Because it's only happened recently. I mean, I'm pretty sure he could really. I mean, well, no, he probably does care that people are talking about it. He definitely fucking cares.
He definitely cares. Yeah.
But I have a feeling that a lot of communication between a lot of people who are working in the federal government have been talking through Signal, have been reporting things that has been happening in the federal government through Signal, and have been posting shit on Twitter. It is like, we gotta stop this. Like, there are other ways of sending these links, but cool. More reasons for people not to use Twitter.
Yep.
Again, I will say, if you are still on Twitter for any reason, why? My man is just throwing temper tantrum after temper tantrum.
Be like, I feel like if you're doing all of this just to have two people tell you that they like you, which they probably would if you weren't being a dick.
I'm pretty sure those Doge bros like him.
Clearly not.
His kids might like him if he ever talked to him.
What about math equation?
Oh, he's 4 years old. He's too young to hate him yet.
What are you talking about? My son hated me at 4. Oh, no, he just.
He's not. X's math equation is not there because he's a loving dad.
Is he though?
That's not the reason. That's not the reason why math equation is there.
I don't know. Like, look, is it weird that this kid is around a lot?
There's a reason, and not because he's a loving dad.
Wait, are you saying no? You aren't saying what I think you said, are you?
I think you. I don't have to say what I have to say what I said.
Kev, I need you to get on Signal. There are certain things I can't type in places. I'll send you the light through. Oh wait, I can't.
I'm just gonna leave that right there.
Who's ready for some gaming news?
I guess let's get into the gaming news.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
The DICE Award 2025 winners. We've got the full list. I don't feel like going through the full list. But oh wait,
for those of us who aren't in the know, what are the DICE Awards?
The DICE Awards, I think, are for the managers of the gaming industry, from what I understand. So there was I think GDC is for the developers, and I think DICE is for like the executive producers and all like the people, like the studio heads and shit. I can't remember what the difference was. I think we covered it last year, but annual award show in the video game industry and commonly referred to as the video game equivalent of the Academy Awards.
Okay. Loving to see how Baladro and Astrobot just went through. Is just like, and we'll be taking that and taking that and taking those. Could you just put this one in the bag? Thank you. And Helldivers 2 said, actually, you can put a couple in the bag for me too. Thanks.
Barely did.
Yeah, so let's get through your outstanding achievement in animation, Astrobot. Outstanding achievement in art direction, Black Myth Wukong. Outstanding achievement in character, Indiana Jones. Wait, his name is Henry? Okay. Indiana's first name is actually Henry.
Yes.
Did not know that.
Yeah, Henry Jones, yeah.
Outstanding achievement in original music composition, Helldivers 2.
Oh.
Outstanding achievement in audio design, Helldivers 2. Outstanding achievement in story, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Outstanding technical achievement, Astrobot. Action game of the year, Helldivers 2. Adventure game of the year, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Family game of the year, Astrobot. Fighting game of the year, Tekken 8. Racing game of the year, F124. Man, it was not a lot to go on that one. Role-playing game of the year, Metaphor Refantasio. Yeah, y'all thought I forgot how to pronounce that, right? Sports game of the year, MLB The Show 24. Strategy simulation game of the year, Balatro. Immersive reality technical achievement, Starship Home. Immersive reality game of the year, Batman Arkham Shadow. I guess that's VR.
Yes.
Outstanding achievement for an independent game, Balatro. I swear, only technically because it was recently launched, I feel. But mobile game of the year, Balatro.
Mm-hmm. Even in that short time, it was like, give me that.
Online game of the year, Helldivers 2. Outstanding achievement in game design, Astrobot. Yeah. Outstanding achievement in game direction, Animal Well.
It's good.
And game of the year, Astrobot.
Yeah. Astrobot said, this isn't the VGAs? Well, you know what? Give me that too. Give me that too.
Yes, this amazing giant ad for a console you already own.
It's literally, I think the term you're looking for is homage.
Oh, really?
To the Sony PlayStation.
It was. It is though.
Yeah. It was definitely a letter of love to everything PlayStation. I was watching. I'm
still kind of poking fun at people who were saying like a literal ad won Game of the Year at the Game Awards. Like, I didn't know it was that deep until I bought it, but it kind of is. But also, it's just a love letter to PlayStation, which it's nice.
Nice. It's a wonderful, wonderful. Like I've watched my homie Super Namu play it, and I was just like, man, if I had a PlayStation 5, I would totally play this. Yeah, but I don't.
I need to get back to it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely what you would consider to be a good.
It's a good little platformer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in a
But
time where it's like 20,000 hour RPGs or modern shooter 54.
Yeah.
It's nice to have
Not
like a
modern
good
shooter
whole.
54, Lord.
It's nice to have a, you know, just good wholesome platformer to play.
Yeah. Agreed.
Things that I would also like to, like my ask, based on several things that I've heard over the years from a lot of my favorite creators on the platform and in the space. Can we just have more games that are just quick, cute little jaunty things you can do in a handful of minutes if you want to, that don't take like 30 hours to complete because we are adults who have to do other things. We love immersive experiences, but sometimes I just want a cute little popcorn game I can sit in the corner and play for an hour and then go away.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Sin, might I introduce you
Hi.
to Steam Next Fest, where a lot of those games do show up.
Including Balatro.
Like, here's the thing, right? I'm not saying that there are. I'm not saying that there are none of them because that would be a foolish thing to say. They exist clearly in abundance. I want more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna do a Negrodamus moment, right? I'm gonna go into the future, and I predict that there will be content generated by one of us here on this show in a video form, multiple videos even, and possibly even from DCA. I'm reaching into. There will at least be an article written.
Good chance.
With those games. Hopefully this time with this article, the person writing it will link to their videos instead of images. So that way we can actually watch those gameplays and it'll get them views.
Yeah.
That's just my okay. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had a little Negrodamus moment where I am sure at some point we will have a curated list of games to check out. That will be those nice indie bite-sized morsels that you're looking for.
Indeed.
Ruin says, I did laugh a bit at Sony. They put all that money into Concord and it flopped so hard. Then here comes this small Astrobot investment claiming all the awards all in the same year. That's because nobody liked live service and they had already sunk all that money into it years ago.
Yep.
They couldn't really back down. They said all that shit to justify it. And of course it was going to bite them in the ass. The wheels were already in motion. It was nothing they could do. They just tried to will it into existence and it failed because we were just over it.
Meanwhile, the little dev that little in-house studio created, if not the game of the year, one of the most eclectic, true to form games of the year. Like, come on now. So it stands to reason that you just need you just need to let devs cook and make what they make. I mean, that's all you can really do is just say, you know what, let's just not like overdo ourselves and just let the developers develop and sell and celebrate the games that are coming out, because again, not every game has to be like hardcore military action shooter or deeply dark, brooding live service. Every game could just be cheer, sweetness, and light, and people could have a diverse catalog of games where people can enjoy that. That was what was on PlayStation. That was on PS2, PS3, and to a certain extent PS4. Let people make things, fun things, and give people access to do that. And you look at that. And again, you see Balatro, who, funny enough, which I laugh every time I look at the file size. Balatro is like 63 megabytes. Not 600, 63. Games of the year. winning full awards, making
Um,
a
a,
million in
mul-
sales.
a multi-hyphenate, if you will.
Right, exactly. So it stands to reason that you just need to let people cook. And look at what happened.
Well, I have a counter argument to that, unfortunately, because sometimes you can let people cook and they can make the most successful live service game ever, or in recent memory.
Oh, you're not about to mention that, are you?
We getting in that segue.
But then lay off their US team.
Boy, you used a lot of material for that segue. I appreciate that.
Marvel Rivals devs laid off despite the game's huge success. Yeah, I saw it. I said, damn, Kev just put it up there. And I had to do it.
Whoop. And then you were like, "Badow."
Blow, ta-dow, watch out now.
Several
How you
Marvel
like me
Rivals
now?
developers at NetEase Games have been laid off, according to the game's director, Thaddeus Sasser, who himself was also laid off. Over on LinkedIn, Sasser said, "My stellar talented team just helped deliver an incredible, successful new franchise of Marvel Rivals for NetEase Games, and we're just laid off." All 6 of Marvel Rivals America-based devs were reportedly let go, 2 of whom were level designers.
So this is the part where I feel like I'm not supposed to be like the super serious person, but considering that other events this week that happened, the feeling of reading that is still really raw for me. So I am just going to say it is a very particular feeling, let's say, to be like, if you do the things and you click the buttons and you make the PowerPoints and you show people that you're valuable, I believe is the conventional wisdom around these things. That when the time comes for these axes to start swinging, you're not going to get caught in the crossfire. And we're being reminded once again that it is very possible for you to be out here doing all the things and doing all of them correctly and still, all those times that we had these articles where it's kind of questionable whether or not the company is doing well, but we're just like, listen, these people are making these companies money and they're still getting treated the way that they're getting treated, and it's not good. And, that just sucks. And this is why Sven gets to spend 5 minutes dragging people and we just applaud him, because stuff like this happens.
Yeah. where we were like, get him, Sven.
And this is why Sven gets that, will always get that from me, because imagine making all of that money and the company just goes, well, good job. Everybody go home. Everybody go home. The whole office.
Everybody in the club going home.
Which is to say, once again, a lot of these people are being punished not because the company's not making money and not because things aren't successful, but because there's the amount of money they want to make, and then there is the amount of money they made, and there's well, we could have more money, so let's fire people.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, the thing that I loved about Sven's monologue was the fact that I know a lot of people who close them studios. Those CEOs, that C-suite, were right in that building. Phil was in that building. Andrew was in that building. Probably Bobby was in that building. And that's what, and when Sven was talking, so when Sven was talking big, Sven talked that from a thing of strength, big game. It was like the equivalent of his shoes, whack, his clothes, whack, his haircut, whack.
Oh my God,
his cologne,
funny ass
whack.
video.
Right, yeah.
That was a funny video.
His jackets, whack. His shoes, whack. That leather coat, whack. That hairline, whack. His voice, whack.
So GameSpot reached out to NetEase for a comment, and came back with, quote, "We recently made the difficult decision to adjust Marvel Rivals development team structure for organizational reasons and to optimize development efficiency for the game. This resulted in a reduction of a design team based in Seattle that is part of a larger global design function in support of Marvel Rivals. We appreciate the hard work and dedication of those affected and will be treating them confidentially and respectfully with recognition for their individual contributions. We want to reassure our fan base that the core development team for Marvel Rivals, which continues to be led by lead producer Waikong Wu and game creative director Gangyong Chin, and I am sorry I'm mispronouncing those names, and Gangshu. Now that one I actually learned how to pronounce because of reasons, TM. Gangshu China remains fully committed to delivering an exceptional experience. We are investing more, not less, into the evolution and growth of this game. We're excited to deliver new superhero characters, maps, features, and content to ensure an engaging live service experience for our worldwide player base." So like Ruin mentioned in the chat, should have been in the China office. So I think this article is more of just that response. I did read another blog post where they are saying that this could actually, it may not have fully been because, oh no, we want to make more money, and making more money means we have to lower headcount, but it may be in relation to the ongoing relations between the US and China.
Yeah.
And that they were like, look, it may cost us way more to have to support a US team because of how the relations between US and China are.
Yeah.
Seeing how, there are sanctions happening between the company, sanctions, tariffs, all this. Again, because this fucking administration is doing so much weird shit, it's hard to really know what the fuck is going on unless you're an economist or a policymaker of some kind.
Yeah.
I think what NetEase was trying to do, and again, this is just speculation from me, and this is speculation from a lot of other people.
No, I mean, like, I feel like that's a fair consideration to make because it's like one of these things of like now when we hear this, it's one of those, I can't even think about this like strictly from like a capitalistic corporate bullshit thing. It's also is this company located in a place that we're probably going to be fighting with since everybody wants to be fighting at this moment in time? But in that order.
Yeah. So I think that's what I wanted. That's what I choose to believe, whether or not it is true or not, because again, none of this has been factually stated.
Yeah.
It's just been speculation, but I choose to believe that that's the driving force behind it, and not so much we're just trying to reduce headcount to make more profits.
Right.
Because I feel like China is investing heavily into games. Granted, I know a lot, like as we have stated, like when we look at Concord versus Astrobot, live service ain't live servicing like it used to.
Right.
Granted, Marvel Rivals was free. More people are more likely to play free game. Also, it's free, better version of Overwatch.
And you don't have, there's no paywall on any of the heroes. You can literally clock into a hero at any moment. It's really just cosmetic. All it is cosmetic.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Overwatch has now switched to that too.
But again, when did they switch it?
Yeah, I mean, true. And then like also too, Overwatch has been looking over at Marvel Rivals. What can we do?
Right.
So I don't, because it seems weird. It really does seem weird, like for them to be doing as successful as they are, for them to like be releasing two new characters soon. It seems weird that they're dropping. They're dropping teams.
Now, when you say like releasing soon, are you referring to like Thing and like Johnny Storm?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, they're out.
What I'm saying, like I didn't know when they were, because I don't think they were out at the time when the news dropped.
Right.
But yeah, like for characters to be released to or now being released,
Yeah.
it didn't make sense.
Right.
So like I do agree, like, okay, this might have been one of those, you know, really difficult decisions, mainly because of the fact that, you know, hey, your president on some fuck shit. Also Donald Trump, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like I feel bad, and like it does suck, but I don't think it's a purely profit driven motivation here.
Not seeing this with like malice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's more like, well, there's a good chance we might have to close the studio anyway. We might as well close that studio. We might as well close that studio now.
So yeah, it's unfortunate. Oh, like,
yeah.
And for what I say too, like, this is not to make it sound better, but I heard that the studio that was cut was a small team, so it's not like it was a huge dev studio that just got shuttered.
Right.
But again,
I mean, sure, but it's just one of those things.
It
like
still
that
sucks.
It's just like, it's one of those, doesn't feel great to hear.
Yeah, whether it's whether it's 1 or 100, anybody losing a job still fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's when I watched Skill Up's video, his week in video games, he spoke on it, and yeah, it was exactly what you had said. It's like it sucks. It's like it wasn't a full squad of like 20 or 30 people, but it always sucks when it's anybody loses their job in games industry, like, because these layoffs, you know, don't lay down. So
yeah.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but here we are. But I have maybe some good news, something that we can feel good about. If you're looking for yet another reason to play Grand Theft Auto 5 again. Finally, GTA 5 for the PC is getting the enhancements that the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X got years ago.
And they still did that before they released GTA 6.
Wow.
I mean, I see the joke, but also they just added 4. Let's see, GTA 5 will receive a free. You hear that, Sony? It's free. Free upgrade on PC next month to bring it in line with PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. That means it'll receive improved graphics options and faster loading times. Oh my God. Damn it. Yes. Okay. Now I want this. If it means I can just get into this game faster, that is great. Faster loading times across the game, as well as GTA Online additions like new vehicles and performance upgrades, ambient animals, and more. The upgrade will be available on March 4th. Ooh, I hate that though. The update will also include kernel-based anti-cheat protection and proactive voice chat moderation.
Boo! Boo!
What if I don't want the online component?
Tomato.
Right
there.
Story mode and GTA Online progress will migrate to this new version once downloaded. Depending on hardware support, GTA 5 players on PC will experience ray tracing features like ambient occlusion and global illumination, support for AMD FSR1 and FSR3, and NVIDIA DLSS 3 faster loading times using SSD and direct storage, my favorite technology, higher resolutions, aspect ratios, and frame rates, dual sense controller support with adaptive triggers, enhanced audio through Dolby Atmos. Oh, and there's even recommended specifications. Looking at Windows 11 Core i5 9600K or an AMD Ryzen 5 3600, 16 gigabytes of dual channel configuration RAM, NVIDIA GeForce RTX. Okay, I can see how they did that. RTX 3060 with 8 gigabytes of VRAM, or Radeon RX 6600 XT with 8 gigabytes of VRAM, 105 gigabytes direct storage compatible drive, Windows Spatial Sound compatible audio system solution containing Dolby Atmos support required for a Dolby Atmos experience. However, I guess if you don't want to deal with all of that stuff, support for the previous version will continue. Rockstar promised for those players whose hardware does not meet these minimum requirements. However, players on the previous version of GTA Online will not be able to play in sessions with those in the newer version, probably because of that anti-cheat feature. So yeah. All right, I really want to know, and I don't know if anybody here can give me the answer to this. Should I really be concerned? And I feel like I know one answer I'm going to get for this, but should I really be concerned about kernel level anti-cheats? I feel like I've waited long enough to not play Valorant to where I don't care about Valorant anymore, but I would like to play the new GTA 5.
I think it really does come. I think it really does come down to do you want to, or what are you willing to sacrifice to do that?
Yeah, because like I know it's a huge security issue, as was pointed out, I think through Genshin Impact, one of the Hoyoverse games. But like they had to have worked out those issues, right? Verge is saying yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
I will wait till a more informed answer. I really would like to know. It's just something I really need to still continue to worry myself about. Like, and to be fair, like I have Call of Duty installed, and I believe that also has a kernel level anti-cheat. I think that's what Ricochet is. So I don't know. It just.
I think like I say, it's one of those, like, I think you yourself already. It says,
okay. I mean, that's fair. And like I can easily move my sensitive stuff off to other computers. I don't do as much work as I used to on my gaming PC. I think I should probably go and do an audit of my files. But yeah, like I know the work that I want to keep secret nowadays is not on this computer because none of this is. But yeah, it's just weird. I try to be that guy who's very concerned and knows what's going on with my computer, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't install kernel level anti-cheat on any device that has tax information or password managers. Well, this does have Bidwarden installed on it. So there's that. But that shit should be encrypted, right? Oh, wait. Yeah, I feel like that wouldn't matter too much. I don't know.
I'm trying to think. Do I have any games that are kernel level anti-cheat?
I'm curious if like how many multiplayer games have that level of anti-cheat now.
Because I'm like
what is I don't think Fortnite has that. I don't think theirs is kernel level. I don't think easy anti-cheat is that deep. Actually, no, it might be.
So
Fortnite does EAC.
Oh.
Didn't you want us to download H1Z1?
No.
Okay, that
World
wasn't
War
it.
Z.
Oh, what
No,
was
World War Z.
Oh, okay. Dead by Daylight has EAC. For Honor has EAC. Apex has EAC.
Damn, Fall Guys? Wow. Okay.
So it seems like games that are running easy anti-cheat or battle eye. Kernel level has access to memory. Unless it's encrypted in memory, then encryption doesn't matter if you open a sensitive app while the anti-cheat is active.
That was.
So yeah, I mean there are probably more than you know.
Yeah.
So I guess like so I guess it's moot at this point. If I should be worried.
Because when I looked up and I seen Fall Guys was, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, like on that list alone, like I have played those games like within the past year or two.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I am not playing Valorant because of kernel level cheats.
Meanwhile.
Yeah. like 2 weeks ago, Fortnite.
Mm-hmm. Fortnite. It's like I don't eat pork chops, but yeah, let me eat this bacon though. Mm.
Yeah, that's why I was like, look, that's why I pick my pork battles. It's like, look, I love bacon and sausage, but yeah, there's other pork products I don't eat. But I've realized that it's not that I don't like pork, it's just I just don't like the texture. Actually, sometimes the taste too.
That's what I'm saying. I don't eat pork bacon unless I'm out. Like if it's like I go somewhere, there's bacon on this sandwich, I'm not gonna be like, bacon on this sandwich? Get it away. It's more like I'll eat it. But I just don't buy it for I just don't be out here like frying up pork bacon at home. That's turkey. This is a turkey bacon house.
I can't do turkey bacon.
I love turkey.
It just does not taste right.
Well, it's fine.
I'm
gonna eat it.
I'm gonna eat that. If you trust the developer, then play the game. If not, then don't. So like I said, yes, you should be concerned, but play your games. All right. Man, it's almost like I don't know, we're supposed to be boycotting this, but
it's like you gotta make, it's like there are some places where you're like no, but then there are other places where it's like maybe I can do it just once a week.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of boycotts, because again, I'm in a lot of discords where people are mad and angry about a lot of shit, justifiably.
Yeah.
But it's like every day it's a new call for new boycotts. I'm like, yo, you cannot expect everybody to follow all of these to the letter.
Like,
because people
Walmart?
will die. People will fucking die. People live in food deserts.
Yep.
Like I can boycott a Target.
Yeah. Oh, easily.
I get boycotted Target, but you can't, like, once you mention like Food Lion, then it's like, all right, no, we got to draw a line somewhere.
Right, because that might be a lot of places that only have like a Food Lion. Like my mom's ancestral home only has like a Piggly Wiggly and an IGA, and there are no IGAs. It's
or
like
in places
one of
where
the
like
last hanging in,
or places like where Walmart has put so many grocery stores out of business.
Yeah,
so it's like you can only shop at the Walmart.
Right,
like
because my area alone is well put together, but my area is also a food desert. Like my area is nice, but you still gotta go like.
And it's sad when you hear like places in the southeast are food deserts.
Yes,
that is wild.
Yeah. So for me to say like, I'm a boycott Walmart, and it's like how Sway.
Yeah, it's
how?
I mean, it's again like do stuff like it's like doing stuff within your means. Like again, do not boycott. Like you see how these people again, you're justifiably angry, but if you're boycotting things where it's like you are now literally starving, and like you are no longer surviving, that's not helping. That's not helping the cause. That's hurting you more than it's hurting them.
Right, and I would
because they will still be there and you will wither away. So unless you were doing a hunger strike, like don't do this.
I would say if you can, cool. If it's physically harder for you because food and you need access to food, get your food, but do not buy. But don't be like, you know what else I'm gonna buy? I'm gonna buy this, or I'm gonna buy this very expensive cereal, and I'm gonna get this, this right here. Just buy the bare necessities that you need
Well, I
to
think
survive, and then find things elsewhere.
I think some of the stuff that y'all are talking about honestly just comes down to, hey, take like 2 seconds to think about a few things
Mm-hmm.
before saying something like that, right?
Yes.
It is
Consider.
I feel like I'm going to use language that Major likes, so that's good, right? It's the idea, right, of you being like, hey, I need you to think about the material conditions that people are in while you're asking them to participate in these movements.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're in like this is the reality that you are asking people to make those decisions in. If you are not going to feed these people, then shut up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's one thing you say, all right, let's boycott Disney Plus. Like, I could, but also, do you have children? Like, that's a real material condition, bro.
Like I say, my like I say,
I get high C's, but also, look, you don't know how to navigate a Plex server, bro. I'm sorry.
Right. Like I say, Munchkins, from the time she blinked her eyes for the first time to current day, has loved every single Disney property that she has ever been close proximity to. This current slate is Stitch. Beforehand, when she was a wee baby, it was Frozen.
But
Midway, Encanto. Yeah, she finally let it go and jumped into Encanto, which is familiar drama.
Generation.
And then went into what was that? Experiment 626.
Mm-hmm.
So she went from white girl Scandinavian drama to Colombian familiar drama to a literal alien experiment.
Gotta get these aliens out of here.
Yeah, so it's like, and I don't know, and right now after that, I don't know what she's gonna be into after Stitch. She might still, it might be like a Tweety Bird situation, and she's locked into Stitch for life. I don't know, but what I do know is she loves Disney stuff, and what I look like not having Disney anything.
Yeah,
but I like Disney stuff. But it's hard to then, recommend and consign myself to the fact that, oh gee, but I make allowances. I do the thing. Also, that's Disney Plus is how I'm watching Bob's Burgers. Even though I have Hulu, but it just made sense to just watch it on. But I don't necessarily like Hulu's
but it's supposed to be getting rid of that.
Is okay.
They're supposed to be getting rid of that.
So Disney Plus kind of works out for me. It allows me to better keep up with the episodes better. And of course I'm starting to watch Bluey, and I like Bluey. So it's really just there are things where I'm like, I can boycott things that I know I have no problem, like McDonald's and Starbucks, light work.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Light work. Light work. Wendy's, that'd have been a little bit hard. That'd be hard, because that's the one thing
I'm glad that's not on the list.
I'm really truly glad that was not going to be on the list, because it would be painful, but I would have to say, like, no, I can't be with you on that, because that's the one thing my mom likes to eat.
If it was Bojangles, if it was fucking Waffle House. Now, Waffle House, I can get it. There are labor issues with Waffle House, but I am there to help support the workers of Waffle House by going to Waffle House.
Because we can say, if strikes happen, we won't cross the picket line, and we stand in solidarity with the workers because, of course, we do. And and when we were basically saying like, hey, if you're not going to get that,
shout out to the USSW,
yeah, and say, hey, Amazon, the Amazon Union, Amazon team, the Amazon Teamsters. But I will say, when I was literally snapping my fingers last year, saying, "Hey, if you know that package ain't gonna get there before Christmas, don't even worry about it. Go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Walmart and get it there. It's not gonna make it there."
Anywho,
and if
I'm sorry. To bring this all back, because we still have 2 more stories and then something else we're going to discuss. To bring it back, like, look, pick the battles. Just pick the battles. Also, again, like when it comes to the kernel level Itachi, you are probably already playing a game that has it installed.
Yeah,
it's one of those things of being like, on one hand, pick your battles, and 2, there's something to be said here, and we'll probably come up with this at some point later, being like, hey, you know that thing that we keep telling y'all about the importance of focused effort so that everybody doesn't burn out trying to do everything at once? Here we are again, an evergreen conversation.
And I really feel like, because like, again, a lot of this ire that I have for this shit is due to the general strike movement. And it's like the people in there are just like wild, feral people who are really, really, again, justifiably upset. But it's like, y'all have no focus whatsoever. No focus, you are jumping at fucking shadows all the time. And it's like, y'all gonna tire yourselves out by just doing all of this. This is just a clusterfuck.
And then where are you when the big... Where are you when the big guns are out?
Look, I am waiting to hear from the people who are being affected. And again, like it's one part where it's like I've heard people tell us, "Oh, I mean, these just like white liberals." Like, yes, they are slowly getting there. We gotta train them up. I get like we gotta train them up, but at the same time, I was like, "Yo, y'all are actually doing the most. Please stop. Slow the fuck down."
The hell down.
Like, who was asking for all of this? Or you just all mad because of the like again, the Target shit, it's been like, from what I've seen, from what people have been saying, it's working. It's being reported on, but at the same time, like, oh, we're gonna run to Costco. I'm sorry, like, look, they're having labor issues. So at most, this just seems really performative.
Yeah.
That y'all leave at Target? Like, oh no, they will support Black and brown people. Okay, but what about the workers en masse?
Yeah.
Like, so black capitalism is what you care about? Is that it?
Well, I mean, there's that, but then there's also just, hey, like these things where we're sitting here and doing this at each other because of how like interwoven all this stuff is to argue about in the first place is kind of the point. So,
and like also it was just bewildering to me that people were willing to move for that. But it's like, again, wasn't it like a year or two ago when Target just folded like a house of cards with the Pride shit?
Yeah.
Sorry, not to be disrespectful to Pride, but
yeah. The Pride merge.
Like they folded so quickly and nobody batted an eye.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, around that time I may not have been as plugged in, but
yeah,
it didn't seem like it got as much movement then. But I guess also liberals were in charge then, so
yeah.
Yeah. Say what you want about the media at that point too, or even at this point.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah.
At least Costco isn't complying in advance.
And then so much so that they're trying to sue them for it, which is ridiculous to me.
Mm-hmm. Because the pivot to loss market share was like, it was like, we're canceling it. Boo these people.
I'm just saying, why not just? Why couldn't we move to BJ's?
Well, you
Nah,
know,
Why
like,
Costco when BJ's was right there?
Child, if we can find,
well, like, here's the question.
Oh, I got a BJ's right down the street.
Well, like,
What I'm
here's the thing that's gonna
You good,
like.
but
I don't think y'all.
I'm in
They don't
Sam's
have
Club
them.
territory, and I don't even have a Sam's Club.
But I'm over here and I'm thinking about how interesting this is, and I'm pretty, like, of course, no one took the time to point this out, which I think is great. But being like, we think companies and corporations should have their own say so and do whatever they want and unregulated and all this other stuff. And the first thing that they tried to do is this one company goes, but we think hiring like black people and marginalized people is a good idea. And they're just like, you can't do that. It's just like, why not? That's our business. Like, literally our business. It's making us money. How is that bothering you? No, you can't do it. I'm just like, oh my God.
And the way they're using the Civil Rights Act to enforce this is really fucking weird, bro.
Oh,
Anywho,
yikes!
In content creation news, Twitch streamers' uploads and highlights can no longer exceed 100 hours.
I'm guessing Daddy Bezos didn't give y'all that little pat on the head that you were looking for, and so now you are having to take that out on your content creators. Love that for them.
The change is going to take effect on April 19th. Content creators should have already received an email. I know I did before the story broke.
I got one today. I think it was either yesterday or today that I got one.
They are saying that they will let you know if you are above or below that limit. They are giving you a chance to kind of pick and choose which videos you want to stay up. But what they're going to do is start, if you are exceeding it by April 19th, they will start removing content by your lowest views up until the point where you hit, or up until you are below the threshold.
Yeah.
This does not include clips and I believe, it does say highlights. It's clips in past broadcasts, which past broadcasts will always get removed after so many days regardless.
Yeah.
But clips live in perpetuity.
But there are times when people can like upload their VODs as like content.
Well, yeah, I know. That's the uploads.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense if it's already on Twitch. I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm a person who's already pointing people like, look, if you want to see it again in perpetuity, here's YouTube.
Yeah.
I guess there are people who just want to stay within the Twitch platform, and I guess like these are the people who get hurt the most from this.
Right.
But as someone who like for me, I don't care. Like I create an occasional clip that's not being affected. I know my VODs are getting removed, but again, I don't care because I put higher quality VODs on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think there's like just like it's like a handful of things more to it than that. You know, as I consider it, one of them being just simply, so you have these clips, they're in the platform. You have a whole bunch of random integrations and stuff that pull up, hey, here's a reference to a thing that you did on the platform. And now that ecosystem of things is about to shrink. Like you ask people to go into your ecosystem and create all of these moments that Twitch, in addition to the creators, can also use to be like, aren't we doing cool things over here? And now you just said, hey, no, y'all can't do that. And the way that I'm seeing people go from like, hey, we only have this much content to have, and here's how much you have. And it's just like, people have been on the platform for years, and so they have like almost 1,000 hours of content that they're having to figure out what to do with stuff. And mind you, this isn't like people, or at least I don't imagine that all of these people are things like, I have taken like the full stream and clipped that out every time and left that in there. It's just like, hey, do you remember that one really cool like boss fight that you had that one time? We clipped all of that. Hey, do you remember that time that we like helped you hit that charity number that you were looking for? We clipped that too. Like now they're having to figure out what they're going to do with all of that. Well, I'm going to ask y'all about that at some point.
I mean, but are you talking about storage clips specifically, like the actual clips, or are you talking about bigger highlights? Because those are two different things.
No, I'm talking about both clips and highlights.
The clips are fine.
The clips are fine, but the highlights and
highlights are the issue. And I think
is it the highlights and the VODs?
Yeah, it's hot. No, it's highlights and update, like uploads.
Uploads, yeah.
So if you uploaded a video to Twitch,
yeah,
that wasn't
Which
streamed,
I definitely didn't do.
yeah. So
Right.
it's like
I didn't do it. I only got a
the
handful,
highlights
so.
I get because those are long. Like let's say if you saw like you got a clip, it's okay. Wait, no, there is more context that needs to be added. So you made a highlight video.
Yeah.
That might be an issue,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you did a lot of those.
Mm.
Uploads,
And I know for some
again,
things
it's like,
I did because we were talking about like having a discussion about things like what we're talking about now, or being like, hey, there's this thing happening in the game. Let's have a side about that or whatever.
yeah. But it's like at that point, like again, like this is where I would make the argument, and have always made the argument of that's what YouTube is for. If I wanted something to live forever, I would prefer to go to YouTube than to put it on Twitch because they are very finicky and they change things. YouTube's whole thing is to keep things there forever.
Yes, in perpetuity. Like
At least for now, and it's been around for about 20 years.
yeah.
It would be really strange to see that change. Whereas like Twitch is so fucking fickle that I don't expect things to be around for very long. They removed a whole ass country because it was too expensive.
Yep.
So it's like, this does not surprise me. I know it will surprise a lot of people, but it does not surprise me because again, this is what we do. We cover the shit.
Yeah.
Like again, it's like writing on the wall for us.
Am I surprised? No, it's just kind of like,
Disappointed? Yes.
all right. It's just like I will just, I guess. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, like you're saying, like clips are fine though. But like it's those longer context videos, like something that a minute will not be able to cover.
Well, I'm glad I took that video that I spent going off on Waka that I made into a highlight and exported that to YouTube immediately.
But yeah, like again, like that's where I feel like those should live. But I get that there are people who just want to exclusively live on Twitch, live, breathe, bleed purple, I guess.
Well, I mean, I think part of it, there are some people that are like that, but I think for some people, and this is a thing that I think it would be kind of cool to see addressed in our podcast or maybe in something in a different format, of being like, hey, dear person who was just kind of like, we put these things in the platform because they gave us the tools to do them, which made it easier to manage. However, as every content creator before you has probably said, putting all of your things in one place for any reason is usually a bad idea. And here we are in a moment where you can see why they said those things. So let's talk about how we get you out of here. Storage, exports, downloads.
I mean, it's
a little bit of like some digital decluttering tips.
I mean, that's why I'm glad that there is somebody who has done that work, right? Yeah. So Commander Root, has provided a suite of tools to give you information, anything you need related to Twitch, right? Like even I guess I think there is an export or backup VODs and clips. Oh, no, they do Blue Sky and Mastodon notifications now.
Oh, nice.
Okay. But yeah, like I mean, a lot of tools here. So yeah, Commander Root will be a good place to go to get a lot of this work done. But yeah, that's a conversation for another day. But again, like people do have until April 19th. It does. I don't remember if in the email if they said that they will remove everything that's like all the like every lowest viewed until 100 hours at once, or if they're going to do it one at a time. But I would say, hey, if you have more than 100 hours, now's a good time to start trying to put a plan in place to get that stuff offloaded. Like I meant, especially like at their highlights, they should not be that big.
No.
It's just if you have a lot of them, and how do you download all those highlights and uploads? Hopefully you did not delete those video files.
I for the most part Because see, what I typically do is I record my VODs. So I record my VODs and then I go back and basically I record as I stream. And so then I go back and I say, cool, I'm gonna take these pieces that would have been highlights and just chop them up and then add like the intro outro and then slap them on YouTube and let the algorithm have its way. But yeah, I do that in house. And I basically it's like me taking a Costco chicken and preparing it 5 or 6 other different ways. Like,
also, you'd be surprised at how many people do not know that you can record and stream at the same time. I am still in the year of our Lord 2025 having to tell people that.
Yes, I'm still gonna have to. I had the conversation in TBG, Twitch Black Guild, about me, cutting up the chicken, serving the chicken 5 or 6 other ways of being like, you could take your Twitch clips and make that into shorts content. You can record your VODs as you stream. Turn the way my OBS is set up is it cuts my cam off.
Shit.
So it just be
that ain't
so
great.
it's just ooh.
Yep, that ain't great. It's not gonna be great for this show. This is gonna be one of the ones where the offline video is not probably gonna be available for it's not gonna be available. I'm gonna have to download this from Twitch.
What happened?
You know what? That's cool.
Running out of storage.
It'd be like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I guess that's going to be on our card to talk about.
But yeah, like I said, I mean, this is just like a small smattering here of like, again, all the recordings of all the Twitch streams that I do.
Yeah.
Like, these are local. I don't have to download these. This one I will, but
yeah,
the others I don't have to.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you record and then whatever, like, cool. Oh, I did some cool things. Like case in point, I streamed the beta last weekend and I did like 3 hunts. I did like the intro stuff, 2 hunts, and I was good. I did like
that's not gonna
help.
help.
2 hunts. Wait, no, 2 hunts. Yeah, I did 2 hunts. Did Chatacabra hunt, and then I did Alpha Doshikuma, and I was good. And I just recorded it. And so then I could just chop them up into smaller videos. If I wanted to also chop up specific moments, I could chop up specific moments and then add little funny clips on that. Again, it's cutting up the same chicken 5 different things and getting so much. You can take the meat and make salad. You can take the chicken and make soup. You can boil the bones for broth. It's like you have so many different ways of making it work. You just have to put the time and the effort in to do that. And a lot of us have computers that can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. So I feel like we should be able to do that. Yeah.
Also, I have saved the day. I uninstalled Overwatch.
I'll do it.
I uninstalled Overwatch. There's probably a bigger game I could have uninstalled, but I was like, look, I need space just quickly. Overwatch, you're gone. You were the last thing I downloaded. You're gone.
I mean, if anything, that's no great loss.
Look, I need to play season 15.
Yeah.
They've made changes, and I want to see what it is.
Okay. I mean, when you get.
But yeah, it'll be back. It'll be back, but it'll be after I post this show.
You wouldn't have that issue if you had a chunky games drive.
Sir, what do you think H, I, J, and K are? It's 2 4 terabytes, a 10 terabyte, and an 8 terabyte.
And yet,
because they're sitting on C, I haven't moved them to D. I have a 2 terabyte NVMe in there. I just haven't moved them. Because so what has happened is in this year, I decided to uninstall all of my games and reinstall them as I go this time. I just now gotten to the point where it's starting to fill up the C drive and I need to start moving things over. I haven't done that yet. And I think Overwatch set it to the limit. And that's why when I was complaining earlier about Sonic Frontiers being 100 and some odd gigs, it was too big to put on C. So yeah, I gotta start moving things now. There was a plan. It's just that I miscalculated. I should not have installed Overwatch before the show.
I mean, that would have been the best thing.
I mean, look.
Show first, man.
And of course, last but not least, getting you ready for the deals. Steam has put up the list to say, hey, here's when all the sales are happening. Of course, Idler Fest just completed earlier this month. Couch Co-op also completed this. I guess they're not going through and updating this list actively. Steam Next Fest, of course, starting this Monday. Of course, expect some content coming from that. At least over at Kevy Kev's YouTube channel. I do not behold anyone to content, as one person can tell you. But hey, great content for DC analysts. I wouldn't say no. But yeah, I'm not gonna go through the whole list. It's all here. Just know that the big Steam Spring Sale is happening March 13th through 20th. So mark your calendars. Prepare your wallets. Prepare your hard drives.
A Steam sale after 2.2 Museum drops. That's fucking disrespectful. Fuck.
But I mean, that assumes that 2 Museum will be on the Steam sale. Like, it's very rare that newly released games get put on it, but I feel like that would be a game they would put on there.
I feel like they would, but knowing me and knowing what I'm about to do, I'm probably gonna buy a day one anyway, because it's like it drops on the Tuesday, and that's the game. That's the type of game I play on Tuesdays. It's a 2 Tuesday. It's a 2 game. I gotta play it on 2 Tuesday. So plus I think I can get a good deal on it from Green Man's or Fanatical. So I think I'll be all right.
Oh, don't forget we need to set a time for Monster Hunter. I'm feeling like a Monday, maybe a Monday.
Monster Monday we can do. Yeah, we do a Monster Monday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let
you see where I was getting at.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know. I'm a bit of a hard ass when it comes to Monster Hunter, so I'm just like I'll let you know.
Well, then that's gonna be content. Then that's just gonna be content.
Yeah. Like I'm not one of them sweat lords is gonna yell at you, but I'm definitely gonna be the type of person that's gonna like to help you up by grabbing your arm just a little bit tighter than it needs to be.
Major heal.
We've
been through this. We've been through this. Major heal.
We were doing that in Rise with Mitsetsune, and I'm like, Major heal.
Look, that's what the Palicos were yelling at the Palico. He's not healing me.
The Palico is fighting for his life too. He's gotta jump in. The Palico is like, I'm a little kitty monster. You are a big strong hunter. Drink a potion.
I don't know what button does that.
Well, you're gonna learn.
We're gonna learn today.
You better learn before Monday. I'm gonna be inundating you with a whole bunch. I'm gonna be inundating you with a whole bunch of like tips and tricks videos and
I'm gonna need you to learn. I'm gonna need you to learn how to convert it to PlayStation. Like I said, I have a feeling I'm gonna pick that up on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna be play. I'm sure it's not going to be like, oh, it's a PC guide. I'm sure probably it will.
Well, no, I mean, like, tell me what buttons I need to push on a controller to do the thing.
Yeah. We'll get it together.
The press X, again, I don't know. X is making me jump. What are you talking about?
Be like, Major heal. But I do like when a monster, how it works in Wilds is like when a monster is about to do a massive attack, your life bar starts jiggling out of control because it's like, if this hits,
see, I didn't.
You don't want this to hit. This is how much it's gonna hit. This is how much it's gonna hurt if this attack hits.
Never noticed that. I'm glad you pointed out. I'll probably forget by Monday too, or next week. Yeah. Oh wait, no, not next week. Week after next.
Yeah, because most times when you play Rise and World, you get hit with an attack and you don't know. Because you don't know, like, damn, is this gonna be a soft attack or is this gonna be a hard attack? Wait, I carded. I fainted. Damn. Okay. I didn't know how bad it was gonna be.
Yeah, just
but Wild is like says,
Kev, just be prepared. Kev, I died.
yeah. Oh no, I wouldn't. I will know you died because it will tell me you died. It will tell you Major Carter, Major fainted.
Well, all right, that's gonna do it for the news. But hey, we've got some special stuff here. Sin would like to manage some mayhem, as has been put into the show notes.
Yes.
So yes, Sin, what mayhem would you love to manage this week?
Welcome, one and all, for Tech Talk Thursday to the section of our show known as Managing Mayhem.
Right. So I feel like I should explain a couple of things. Personally, I'm kind of on this whole arc thing of trying to minimize distractions and give myself like a little bit more room for focus. And while that has been going on here in the background with physical things, it finally comes to the very daunting task of all of the digital things I have collected over the many years I have been alive. Bookmarks, files on the computer, pictures in my phone and camera, contacts, all of that stuff. So, last stream, before I went on vacation, I was making some notes about how I want to go about things and deciding things like what social media platforms and things I still want to keep and be on and which things I don't, among other things. And we were talking about music programs. Landed on the fact that I have a Spotify account, and Spotify is mean to their artists, to say the least. So, trying to determine between whether I want to have locally stored music or whether I would like to pick up another streaming service like Apple Music, which seems to work a little bit better for artists. You know, like it pays them more and all this other stuff. And in the middle of that, there were some suggestions about things to do, which included, but we're not limited to, have you considered setting up a Plex server for that? And I'm just like, hey, can you access anything you put on that server from your phone? You know, like while you're traveling and all this other stuff. Like, how do you set things up so that you have access to those things from other places? What does that look like and all this other stuff? But rather than puzzling that out by myself on Google, I decided to bring that here, and I will continue to bring those questions here while I'm going through the digital decluttering process. So, because I know if I have that question, someone else somewhere who might be ever so less of a tech head than me also has that question. Wow, you would leave in the middle of my question? Wow.
I can still hear you.
Meanie. But so, here I have a card with some notes because I was just like, I don't know what state my brain's gonna be in by the time we get to this point. I want to manage my music library, which is currently in Spotify, and and I wanted to look at what options exist other than just moving to Apple Music. So with that in mind, I need to be able to access these things on both my PC and my iPhone or whatever other phone I pick up in the future. Question about Plex servers. How feasible is it to like move all that stuff to a Plex server and just be able to stream content from there? How complex is the process of setting up a Plex server? And does that require extra peripheral devices? Feel free to answer questions I did not ask that just give me like a sense of here's what you need to do in order to do that, and here's like how complex that gets.
Let's go back to that first one. Can you re-ask the first one, please?
How feasible is it to take your whole music library, move it to a Plex server, and then just be like, cool, I can stream that from anywhere?
So the question is, do you have local copies of your music already?
That is in the, like, I would, by the time I would have to set something like that up, I think that's on that list of things to do.
Okay. So essentially, like, for a Plex server, all you would need to do is put it in a certain library file and have that being recognized by the Plex server, and it should be fine. Okay, there we go. It's kind of working. Yep, there we go. Cool. So yeah, it would not be difficult to do that as long as you have the physical, as long as you have a local copy of those files that you can upload to a Plex server, then you should be good to go. Second question.
Well, okay. Well, like it's a little bit less like I want you to answer these specific questions. I just had questions as a prompt. So when you're talking about
it's
these
helping
things
me
being
explain
like,
it by having the questions.
how complex is the setup for something like that? What does that entail?
Okay, so let's see here. For me, I built mine from scratch, and I don't recommend people doing that if that's not the thing that they're into. I want to say, let's see, I'm gonna go to plex.tv here and see what they have options for. So yeah, you could download a Plex media server. Runs on Windows. They've got Linux versions, Mac OS versions, NAS versions, Docker containers.
Did you say plex.tv?
Yes. The website is plex.tv. And this is where, yeah, you can go and get apps to stream the content, but also you can get the media server that you can install on your computer to be able to run what have you. And see, this is what I was waiting for. I knew we were going to set up a trap card. The issue with the Plex Jellyfin setup is that you would also need to set up VPN access between where the application is installed and where your music resides to where you are. These apps can be set up rather simply, but accessing them outside of your home network requires some complicated backend stuff. And that's where I'm going to say no, it actually doesn't. I would say that Plex has actually made that rather simple now. And it's the reason why I went to go grab my iPad. Or at least like it's showing up simply for me because I have not done anything special with mine. Once you get the Plex server installed and set up, say, hey, this is where my media lives, it'll start populating your Plex server.
But Plex amp?
Plex amp is, I'm not sure what that is.
That's a thing. That's a thing for like playing music and stuff like that.
So yeah, like
or things on Plex.
Okay, so I think that may be like the music player version of Plex.
Yep.
But yeah, the Plex media server is like what you would use to kind of ingest that, like to have it available in the cloud. For me, I set up to authenticate via Google to log into my Plex server. What that also allows me to do is go to app.plex.tv anywhere and still have access to my Plex content. So sure, I'm showing you my iPad that's pulled up my Plex server, but this is also my Plex server as I'm pulling it up from 5G. Like I'm not on my home wireless and I still have access to my Plex videos.
But that is on, would that be on kind of like an external infrastructure, or is that one of those, okay, so you need to like set up stuff on your computer and then you cannot turn your computer off when you're trying to use it, otherwise it's inaccessible.
Correct.
Right?
So yeah, your computer would need to be on in order to host it. Now, I mean, you could go a more complicated route. You can sit there and host it on a VPS if you want to. Again, this is where things get increasingly more difficult. I'm trying to see if this will give me access to the marketplace. It doesn't look like it does. Solutions? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, is Mastodon back? No, it's not. But yeah, it also and expensive, as Takal has mentioned. But yeah, you can use like a VPS. You can even use a Raspberry Pi to run a Plex server. Many people do. But yeah, I think the best option for Plex is, again, like if you want to just install it on your Windows PC and just like say, hey, this is where my music folder is. and make sure you have it set up to where you can be able to log into it through app.plex.tv, and you should be able to access it anywhere. Like, it used to be complicated where it's either you needed a VPN or you needed to set up things with your router to make sure you could get out. But now that they have like the Plex app, it kind of does a lot of the authentication, and it runs everything through like their setup. It's a little bit easier than it used to be.
So, like, is that okay, so I'm gonna ask if the complication is necessary. And when I say is the complication necessary, is that a matter of like, hey, you can let them do all that hosting and stuff for you, but if you set it up yourself, you get the benefit of like maybe like more layers of security features than if they're responsible for it? Is that what we're dealing with here, or is it about the same?
When I say like when Plex let Plex handle it, it's more or less like, hey, they're providing the authentication and being able to access your content. I would prefer Plex. Like for me, I prefer the Plex to handle that stuff because I do not have to open my I don't have to open my Plex server to the internet. So
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, nobody on the internet has access to my Plex server. That's all internal because I actually have shit on there that needs to be private.
It just adds a buffer there.
Yeah. Like it makes it easier for you to be able to access the content outside without exposing your server to the outside world. Windows is one thing. Like again, mine's running on Linux, so that's something else all in its entirety. When like your Windows computer is probably like the most dangerous thing that's out there, but I mean if it's behind like even like your router's firewall, it should be fine as long as you're not opening a whole bunch of random ports to places. But you shouldn't have, like this setup should be simple enough to where you should not have to open up any random ports, have to do anything weird with your firewalls, with your router in order to get access to your content.
Okay. Aside, because I know that the thing I originally was talking about was music, and it seems what they have is this. The thing that they have plans for, one of them is like $40 a year, or like $5 a month roughly, for trying to do that stuff. I guess that's what they're running here.
I'm not sure what that plan is for.
It's for something called a Plex Pass.
So for me, I was using Plex Pass to try to do hardware encoding. I don't know what else it's for. I have never used it. It is not required to do the things you were trying to do.
Okay, so what are the steps here? Is it just collect up all the music that you have, put it in a particular library, set up a Plex server, but I don't know what that means. I'm guessing it's something I have to download to the computer.
Correct.
Is it recommended to have a dedicated device for doing that? Or just a dedicated drive?
I would almost prefer to have a dedicated device to do it as opposed to just installing it on your basic machine, because again, it's still like you're hosting content, it's still going to be on the internet. I would rather it just be on a device that isn't your main driver that you are definitely doing other things on.
Okay. What would you recommend for like a secondary device like that?
Again, like you can run Plex on a Raspberry Pi. If you can get a fairly inexpensive Raspberry Pi, a computer you're not using. I mean, I don't know how many people have those just laying around. I mean, I used to. But yeah, like a Plex does not require a lot of hardware to run.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I might actually upgrade to the Plex Pass to get this dash control. Okay, I'm gonna look more into this hardware encoding now.
Look at me, got y'all asking questions. Because I'm also thinking, I was thinking music immediately, but with this new and like as a tie-in here, with this new Twitch situation with like clips and VODs and things like that, that might warrant some consideration for those things. Because I'm also thinking now about storage in general and cloud services. But that is going to be saved for another section of Managing Mayhem when I ask y'all like straight up storage questions. So y'all know what the cue is the next time Managing Mayhem comes up, so you have time to prepare. I'm asking y'all about storage. And I guess that is the question of, does it require extra peripherals? It does. It will require me to have a computer or to have an external computer that I can just run and not have to worry about turning on or off. And I just need to know how to put things on there, see what's on there, see how to add or remove or update things. And we're just gonna have to get into the idea of keeping digital media, although that is going to be weird because it just is. But Bandcamp is about to make a lot of money from me, so that's good. I heard that the kids love Bandcamp. Would you? I guess my last question for this section of Managing Mayhem. Do you see these kind of things existing as like a one or the other situation, or like a situation that exists in tandem? Like as we kind of consider like all the stuff that's happening with streaming services, do you see yourself kind of trying to store more of those things on Plex servers and making them accessible wherever? Or is that like there are going to be some things that I'm going to have like cloud and or streaming services for, and other things that I keep on this Plex server?
So unfortunately for me, I do not have, especially for a lot of the music I listen to, I've not downloaded music in a while. Like it's almost exclusively streaming for me. So I don't have anything to really host on there. My Plex server is literally just old YouTube videos. It was a way for me to keep up with things. It was also a way to get rid of ads before they introduced YouTube Premium. So now I'm paying for YouTube Premium to get ad-free YouTube, but also I'm just still downloading shit to my Plex server. So for me, like, again, like Plex was a thing that I installed and set up just as a project, and it just stuck around. It's very beneficial for those who do have music that they want to stream, that do have movies and TV shows that they would like to stream, that they own and would like to view on multiple devices. They can also share libraries with other people. You can invite people to have access to your library and be able to stream that content.
Okay.
There was a friend of the channel who gave me access to their Plex server where I had access to like a shit ton of anime. Like I didn't need a Crunchyroll subscription because they had everything. And was constantly adding shit.
Okay. So, and this is where I was thinking about this, right? Because on this, there's a bridge here. Coming back to a question you asked earlier. I have music on my computer. I have music on the phone. Like there are physical files for all of those. But there's also like it's been a very long while now since getting into streaming services, since I've downloaded anything new. So a lot of this project will also be like, hey, all that stuff you like, you're going to have to go online or what have you and source all of that stuff and then go and collect all of it, because it's not going to be immediately available for whatever purchase on X streaming service or whatever. And trying to decide if I want to like take the time and find all of those artist albums, MP3 or WAV or whatever file type tracks, acquire them, download them, put them on the Plex server, and then make that available in digital form, as opposed to just migrating to a new streaming service and then finding all of those people on that streaming service and then listening to all of that. So it's do we pick up a Plex? Do we just do the really difficult thing up front and then just get into the purchase of like hunting for things on Bandcamp as a habit? Or do I get into a new streaming service and then just deal with streaming services, which is a very just like similar thing. You go and you search for the thing and then you like favorite it or pin it or add it to a playlist or whatever.
So that's the issue that I'm currently looking into, like actively as we're talking, looking into this, because I don't know where people download music anymore. Like, I don't even know if I could go and actually buy a physical album anymore. Like,
I mean, if you need places to get like physical albums and vinyls and stuff like that, I can tell you where I get that.
Okay, so like I can go to Amazon. They do have the CD for Kendrick Lamar's GNX. Mm-hmm. So that's one way you can get the music. It looks like Amazon MP3, like Amazon Music might allow you to download, but I'm not sure if it's like, hey, you could well, okay, it says MP3 music. So like they may, like if you were to buy the song, they may actually give you an MP3. Whether it's DRM, I don't know. So that introduces an issue.
There's also a limit on how often you can download those.
Well, I mean, once you download it once, that's really all you need. Just make sure you back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, it's like a CD. Like they'll only ship you one CD. If you break the CD, then you gotta buy a new one. So it's like I get that part, but it's a matter of like if you were to download the music, is it a DRM that keeps you from playing it outside of a specific player, or is it a DRM free MP3 that you can do whatever you want with it, which is very rare nowadays. And of course, the music industry would rather never sell you a CD ever again. Make sure that you have no way to access any downloadable content that you can't watch out of their specific player. So like it becomes that difficult. Like, I mean, again, like it's a blessing where, hey, we'll give you a vinyl record, but okay, now you got to figure out how to really sit there with a vinyl with phonograph, record the music, and then figure out how to split that shit. But somebody dedicated enough will do it. So yeah, like it's a fine line to walk in 2025. Like that's why I looked up GNX, because it's a new album. Like I wonder if Taylor Swift has a CD. I hope she does. I mean,
probably. You'd be surprised at how easy that stuff is to find. So I know that Discogs, and Bandcamp usually have those things.
Well, like I mean, Bandcamp is like, yeah, I mean,
all this stuff.
And that's the thing. That's one thing I like about Bandcamp. Like if you're listening to a whole bunch of indie artists that are just producing music, Bandcamp is the best place to get them. Because they'll say the damn album, you could download them in multiple formats, including FLAC.
And they're just like, go forth, be free, my friends. Enjoy.
Exactly. So yeah, like there are places that will still give you the actual files that are DRM free, but it's not like Kendrick Lamar, Taylor Swift, none of the top people. Like you can still go around and like somebody would just say, hey, you can go to this link, and like they'll say, hey, here's the digital album. They'll give you a damn zip drive full of MP3s. I mean, that's literally what Bandcamp does, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I know that Discogs is a little bit better for finding things like that. If you're looking for like, hey, I just want the straight GNX CD or what have you.
I mean, like I found a copy on Amazon.
As opposed to people being like indie remixes of things.
Yeah, like I mean, I found the album on Amazon, so it's like Amazon will sell you a CD. But yeah, like I imagine as time goes on, it's going to be, especially with the music industry the way it is, it's going to be increasingly rare for them to make physical media. I mean, if you look at what video games are doing, they're selling you consoles without disc drives now. People are mainly playing CDs in their cars. Cars are being sold without CD players. Not a lot of, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you were to go to Best Buy and go buy like a stereo system, like you would have to spend a lot more to get one that has a CD player on it. If you were to buy like a boom box, which I'm pretty sure they don't even sell those anymore. They'll sell you a smart speaker with the volume level of a boom box, but it fits in your fucking hand. It's like as big as this bottle, and it's just a Bluetooth speaker. Because nobody is selling giant CD players anymore. And like even if we're still talking about talking about buying physical CDs to rip the music off of it. Computers don't come with CD drives anymore. You have to go find, I mean, granted, they will still sell you an external CD, DVD, Blu-ray burner, but you still got to go seek those out. Now, granted, that's what a lot of people do though, and it's actually something that I've been thinking about, like getting a Blu-ray burner, like a Blu-ray drive, and start burning a lot of my physical media, start ripping my physical media off of it. But that's still a difficult process because of the levels of encryption on Blu-ray, on DVDs and Blu-rays. DVDs are easier. Blu-ray is going to be a little bit harder, but again, it's still feasible. People are ripping these movies, and that's what they're putting on Plex servers.
Yeah, you have to find software that strips protection.
Yeah. But I mean, it's there. It's legal. You own the disc.
Yeah.
But it's going to be very difficult to do. It's legal for you to do it, but it's like a real moral gray area, and it's like the movie industry has more lawyers than you. So they are willing to take you to court to freak you the fuck out and get you to stop. But yeah. But yeah. Is there anything else?
Probably, but as far as the things to consider in order to properly get this started, it sounds like all things being considered, unless I'm going to, like in the near term, right, if I'm looking at this, probably being like, hey, maybe going to an alternate streaming service might be a thing until I can put things together. Like, it's the shortest line from I would like to leave Spotify to moving to another streaming service, because trying to be like, I would like to build, or like go and find the Raspberry Pi, install the Raspberry Pi, find out what OS I want to put on the Raspberry Pi, moving all of the music and migrate.
Raspberry's probably going to be the easiest bet.
Is that a Linux thing?
I mean, yeah, it's the official OS of Raspberry Pi. There's no need to do anything.
Well, I mean, the reason why I'm asking about that is because then when I have to go and get PlexAmp, they're just like, hey, you need to have a Plex server on there for that. Okay, what system are you using?
Well, I mean, it would just Linux. Yeah.
Right. So that's why I'm just like, okay, so we're going to have to do whatever that is, and then migrate the music over there by whatever process that requires.
Honestly, put it on an external hard drive and then plug the external hard drive into the Raspberry Pi.
And I hope it reads it. And that's
should.
And that's one of those things that seem like a straightforward consideration until you do. It's kind of like put things on the computer. Well, how are you going to do that? You need an external hard drive to copy from one place to the other place. Well, where am I going to get that from? Like, it's those things. And mind you, not that these things are, and like a lot of this stuff, not that these things are going to be like this impossible Herculean task or whatever, but rather that there's a lot of smaller steps that you're not going to think about until you're in the middle of doing it and then be like, oh, I have to go and get this. Oh, I have to go and get that. And suddenly a thing that you thought was going to be like 4 steps long is 20 steps long.
Oh no, yeah, I can tell you it's gonna be a minute. It's gonna be a minute. But I mean, people have been doing this for a while, so like there are a myriad of how-to guides. Like I'm pretty sure like how to install, like how to set up a Raspberry Pi to run a Plex server. I'm pretty sure they got the step from buy Raspberry Pi to enjoy music on your phone. But yeah, I mean, again, like there's a lot of things I would say for your intermediate step. My recommendation would be YouTube Music. I would say pay for premium, get the ad-free YouTube. Comes with a premium experience of YouTube Music. There's that. If you don't want to give it to Google, I mean, Apple Music is always a thing. I've tried other platforms and have always ended up back at YouTube Music. That's what I'm using for this stream. It also has podcast support. We're on it. But yeah, like there are plenty of others. Again, like I like YouTube Music. Of course, Apple Music has better integration with iPhones. But yeah, I mean, there are other options other than Spotify. I'm not sure what YouTube Music's cut is with artists. I can just say that, look, all of them are shit. But yeah. Well, that is it. I think it's time to get out of here. I would say, hey, we're going to catch up, see what we're doing each week, but we are running a little bit long. I will let's say that, hey, I will be the birthday boy in 2 days.
Bam, 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 bam.
Unfortunately, I have shit to do.
Wait, in 2 days? That's Sunday.
Friday and then Saturday?
It's basically midnight.
Okay, we'll find it. A day.
So, what are you doing on Saturday?
I have things that I have to do that I cannot talk about on this stream.
I see. All right.
So yeah, so there's that, but hopefully it shouldn't take all day. Should be able to do whatever it is that I would like to do after that. And then there's also Sunday. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to go to a convention or not. But I'll see. But however, we will have not Fortnite Fridays tomorrow. We're actually playing Marvel Rivals instead.
Yeah. I did.
So definitely tune into that. Twitch.tv/KevyKev. KevyKev Show. What is it?
Kev Show.
Okay, I'll just look. I forget. I forget. So definitely tune into that. Me, Kevy Kev, it's your boy Kev, and Jerry Bun don our superhero capes.
Yep.
And fight other superheroes.
I'm gonna be switching off between the ever-loving blue-eyed thing and also what I've called Jeff the Land Shark, aka the adorable abomination. So yeah.
And coincidentally, I'll be playing as the Punisher.
Oh, nice.
Because
armed and dangerous.
Because I understand what the Punisher stands for, and not the maggots.
Mm-hmm. That's the one thing I've always cracked up and be like,
always.
Punisher's not for you, man. But
no.
guy, Punisher would not rock with y'all. He literally tears. It's that scene where he's tearing the sticker, the Punisher sticker, off of the cop car and just tearing it in little pieces, being like, "See, you don't know what you don't know what I stand for. You don't know what I'm about. So before I leave you two alive, breathing, I'm finna go. But don't do that crap. But don't do that crap again. I'm not for you." But if I catch you
well,
out
like the
here,
thing is, it's these people aren't even like really dealing with that, like aren't like that because they're feeling that way about. They imagine themselves being that vigilante person. They like and not paying any attention to the details of what he stands for. They're just like,
meanwhile,
I'm a vigilante with a skull going forth in a place and dealing in like hardcore justice, and everybody feels like justified in doing that for whatever reason.
Sir, I wear a black. I wear a black suit with a white skull on it and white go-go boots. Do you think I am for you?
Again, it's media literacy, folks. With all that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for February 20th, 2025. Of course, you can find us at all the stuff. Look, all the information down below. I'm not going to go through it. You just watch another episode where I do that, but I'm not going to do that here. Of course, you all could have been anywhere in the world watching any stream in the world. You could have been reading the tech and gaming news yourself, but you said, no, thank you. I want to know how to host a Plex server. And for that, I say thank you. And all I've got left to say to you on the people is that nobody is going to save us but ourselves. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
But if you got to get ready, we got you. Because listen, some of us, we just got to do it, okay? Love y'all.
And all I've got left to say now is I love you. Peace.
Wakanda forever.